Tonight, I'm making basil beef fried rice and sweet and spicy pickles. I made the pickles first to give them time to brine. I sliced a couple of Persian cucumbers and stacked them in a mason jar. I do need bigger jars, but there was still enough room for some bay leaf, black peppercorns, ground mustard, and some red pepper flakes. I chopped up some dill that I keep frozen and stuffed as much as I could in the jar. Next, I added some sugar, rice vinegar, and a few garlic cloves. I capped the jar and shook it until the spices were suspended in the vinegar. And since I like my cucumbers cold, I put the jar in the fridge while I made the fried rice. Leftover rice works best for fried rice, but undercooked rice is the next best thing. There was roughly 1.5 cups of rice in the bag, so I only added 1 cup of water to it. Then I diced half an onion, some garlic cloves, 1 ají pepper, and some scallions. I set all of those aside and cut a piece of steak into small cubes. I put them in a bowl with some salt, pepper, onion powder, and a little olive oil. Mixed it up and set it aside while I cooked the eggs. I cracked 2 eggs in a bowl and added salt, white pepper, and some of the scallions. I mixed those up and then fried them in this egg pan. I let it cook for about 2 minutes before folding it into this egg burrito shape here. I moved the cooked egg back to the cutting board and cut it up into smaller cubes. The pan I'm cooking the fried rice in is shallow, so cutting ingredients into small cubes keeps everything the same size so that everything cooks evenly. I added some oil to the pan and seared the beef. Removed it from the pan, added some more oil, and then sautéed the vegetables all at once until the onions were translucent. I removed those from the pan, added more oil, and began to fry the white rice. I added the basil leaves and kept stirring the rice until I heard it start to crackle and pop. Waiting for that sound is important. It means that the rice is actually being fried, so it won't get soggy after adding the sauces. That's also why I wasn't worried about the rice sticking to the bottom of the pan. When the rice was fried, I added the vegetables and the beef back into the pan and folded everything in. Then I added the egg and folded that in. Next, I added some sugar, some salt, soy sauce, and lastly, some oyster sauce. The moisture from this was just enough to remove the rice that was stuck to the bottom of the pan, but not enough to make things soggy. The last ingredient was a drizzle of sesame oil. I mixed that in, and then it was time to plate. The fried rice, and a side of the sweet and sour pickles. I used the rest of the scallions for garnish, set my table, and began to eat. The rice was delicious. It was full of that basil flavor that I love so much. But I overdid it on the pepper in the pickles. They were really spicy, too much for my taste. So choosing a glass of cold water for a beverage was a good call. Still, I had a hearty home-cooked meal for dinner, which made it easy for me to enjoy the rest of the evening. What do you like to put in your fried rice? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Until next time.